Today we will talk with you about Paris, and especially about little town what is named Campaign, where was captured Joan of Arc. Also, we will talk with you about dreams and mistakes and how it's everything influenced to our life. And also, we will talk with you about World War II and ghosts and bakeries. And in general, it's supposed to be a very cozy video. And of course, it's because of this book. It's The Mysterious Bakery of Rue de Paris by Evie Woods. Well, I should admit that my expectations about this book were very low, and I'm happy that I so much like this book, because usually I'm not fan of this cozy, romantic, light book. But this book is romantic, cozy, light, easy to read, and in the same time this book is mystic, deep, and in some way even historical because this book talks about this little town in the France what its name is Campaign, and about the role of the city in the World War II, about the German camps what is were located in the city, also that it was captured Joan of Arc. And I mean, this book is much better than was my expectation. What is most surprised for me was of the book of this genre, it's that people there is very real. They're so realistic. It's not like some positive characters or some negative characters. No, it's like just people who do bad stuff and good stuff, and that's amazing. I so like how author shows people how they are, with all their pluses and minuses, without this like romantic flaws what is make a more perfect man or like more perfect woman. I will rate this book 5 out of the 5 because of this genre I would say that so far it's the best book what I was read. And because this book is a romance, so I have for you idea for your next date. Let's see what it would be, right? And what is your next idea to your date is take a luxury bubble bath together. Fill your tub with warm water and soapy bubbles for relaxing soak. Prepare your favorite drinks for an intimate evening of quality time and pampering. What is pampering? And some candles and let your worries wash away. And let's start to talk what is about this book. So main character is Edith, and she lives in Ireland. Unfortunately, her mother is died because of some heart disease what is been with her half her life. But when she was alive, this child spent almost all her time with her mother, and they were together dream about how it would be cool to live in France. So after when her mother died, Edith decided that it comes time when its dreams comes true. So she applied for some jobs in France, and she found a job, and it was in the Rue de Paris. So she flies there, but when she finds the street in Paris, she understood that she was misunderstood, and it was not the city Paris, but it was called the street Rue de Paris. She was very disappointed of this, of course, because her dream was lived in the Paris, not in the some little city what is called Campaign, and she even never heard about this. So she was happy that at least it's 1 hour from the Paris, and she would have more options, and she would have option to back to the Paris. Of course, she was very disappointed of this, but she tried to stay positive and use her chance, and she is moved to the Campaign, where she finds a little bakery on the street Rue de Paris, and there was Madame Mouret. Well, I hope it's right. Madame Mouret wasn't warm welcome her, and Edith was very disappointed and desperate about this. Madame Mouret showed to Edith where she would live, and it was small attic, and that's what is another reason when Edith feel very bad. And in a few days when Edith was feel extremely bad and she was crying and she thought to back to the island, she find in the floor notebook was belong to the Pierre, and it was started for the 1945. First recipe what she find in the book, it was hot chocolate, what is called If You Need Warm Your Soul. And Edith decided to try it, and it was amazing, and it was through her to her childhood memories when she was happy and she started to cry. Arthur decided to write a little bit more information about Pierre. Pierre was a man who dreamed to open the famous bakery. And in the beginning, he thought about to open it in the Paris, but after some time, he decided that he would come back to his hometown, its Campaign, and will open and share his knowledge to the people from his own city, and that they would be enjoy his bakeries too. And another reason why Pierre wanted to back to Campaign is because he was it's because he remembered his first love. It was a man, and Pierre was homosexualist. So when he was back to his town, he met with his first love and understood that actually he already married to another woman, and plus he has a little daughter. So Pierre decided that he put all his love to his bakery, and that would be sense of his life. And everything was going pretty good. Pierre was happy with bakery. People who live in Campaign, they will love Pierre and his bakery. And here when start World War II, it starts to be less and less products and ingredients, but still Pierre tried his best to bake some pastries, bread, and try to help other people. One day he went to the train station where he wanted to deliver his bread. There he noticed a woman with a little daughter who ran to him, and suddenly he understood that she is trying to escape from the Nazi. He was pretend that it's his wife and his daughter, and he brings them to his bakery. They start to live together. Pierre find out that she is gypsy and told her that he is homosexual, so they both are supposed to be in the Nazi camp. So they decided to help each other, that Nazi wouldn't took them. Unfortunately, there was neighbor who was jealous to them, and he called to the soldiers and said that she actually gypsy and she's supposed to be in the camp. So during the day, soldiers came, took the woman, daughter was escaped, but on the evening when she was back, Pierre told her that she now supposed to live on the attic. And eventually they start live together, and eventually they were happy. So that's story was about Pierre and Madame Mouret, who is after when Pierre was died was take care of his bakery. And now we return to the edit. So Edith decided to change her hairstyle and she went to the hairdresser. Hairdresser, her name is Nicole, she suggests to the Edith that they can be friends. She invited her to the bar where it would be Nicole's husband performance head. So Edith showed up in that bar, and there how she met with Hugo. Hugo was from Paris, and they had a beautiful evening, and they understood that they have feeling to each other, but it seemed that Hugo had some secret. And they have some more dates, and Edith was understood that she loves Hugo, but she didn't know that actually Bakery had a hard time, and Madame Miret, she has a lot of credits but she never paid. And Hugo was a son of the boss of company who tried to buy this bakery and turn it to the hotel. And this bakery is very old and it has this French charm, and people who is living in the campaign, they didn't want that bakery was turned to some hotel without any soul. So of course people didn't like it. They tried to support as they can. And of course she was extremely angry when she found out that Hugo is that man who she loves, and he came and tried to buy a bakery what she loves. And also she found out that in the bakery, in the basement, they have ghost of Pierre, and that's another secret of the bakery. Here his ghost, he just show up in the morning, do his routine, and afterwards disappear. And time when he show up, it already became less and less and less. So supposed to be then soon he would be disappear. In this moment we have ghost, Madame Miret, and her struggling bakery, and Hugo who loves Edith but too weak to follow her and his dream, because his dream to be photographer. He doesn't want to lead his father company, but he still too weak to admit this and follow his dreams. Edith, who start to see her future life in this city, and she loves people and she loves bakery. She tried to do absolutely everything what she can to save the bakery, but still that's everything not enough. And Hugo, he has also mother who has Alzheimer, and she is lives in the campaign, and his mother told him that actually that jealous and bad neighbors who was betray Pierre, it was her grandfather. And they need to do something good to this family. And plus Hugo realized that he loves Edith and he wants to be with her, and also he wants to be photographer, so everything together. And he is sold his expensive car, and he sold his apartment in Paris, what it was plenty of money, and all this money he was give to the bakery, and some left to be like kind of like neighbors with them and open shelter for people who needs it. And this how it's end of this beautiful book. Everybody is happy. Hugo lives with his lovely girlfriend and two photographers, and also he is help other people. Edith, she is continue to work in the bakery. Also she is singing because she wanted to be a singer. And Madame Miret finally feel happy because with bakery would be everything alright. Also ghost of Monsieur Miret find a peace and never show up again. And let's talk about this book. And what first I want to warn these people who want to move to the France and live there, work there, because what is its terrible country about? It's about documents. I have some friends who is living in the France, and all of them they struggling with a document. Some of them, when I was called and just like, hey, how are you? How is your documents? And she said like, well, I live in here illegal already a few months, and it was absolutely okay because they lost her documents, they couldn't find it, and it was like all the time something wrong with her documents. And it was in this book too, and I'm happy that it was writer wrote it because it's very true. After all, how hard could filling out a few forms be? Wrong again. After spending the best part of an hour trying to find the right building, which was eventually marked out by its grey walls and grey people, I waited 2 hours in an unending queue of foreign students, immigrants, and a lot of tired and forlorn-looking people, only to be informed that I could have done the entire thing online. And that's actually strange. Online, I never heard that you can do something online there, like, or if you can anyway, you need to show up there, and it would be still a lot of work to do something with documents. Well, it's like small talk about documents in the France, right? All of a sudden, Pierre knew exactly what he wanted to do. He would return home and open a bakery so the humble people of Courtine could taste the elegance of Paris. But more than that, with this special ingredient, he would melt their hearts. Oh, that's so beautiful saying. But what it was my point that Pierre, he is trying to find his path in this life, and he is searching, and that's what is I like a lot. That if you searching, eventually life, never mind what happened, always give you some option. And first you need to see them, and second it would be your choice to follow them or not to follow them. And I like that Pierre, he had strugglings, and anyway he is like trying to walk forward, and eventually he suddenly understood that, well, what he wants is actually much easier, and it's right here next to him. He just needs like this click to realize what it is. And suddenly he understood how to be happy, and that's amazing, because if we searching, if we trying our best to find what is ours, eventually we will find it. And next quote, what I find, I think is more associated for me with marriage. You will see. There are some things that are better done when you are young and foolhardy and unafraid of failure. That's the time when you build your career, meet your future husband, carve out your own space in the world. It's an amazing quote because that's true. When you're young, you're mostly thinking what it would be if you would be successful. That's it. And it's a time when you're dreaming, and when you have to do what you think. Absolutely everything. It can be stupid, it can be silly, it can be everybody can say like, but it would be your mistake and you would be for sure fail. Anyway, you have to do, because that's time when you can do absolutely everything, and if you would be fail, still you wouldn't be so sad about this then compare when you would be older. And why I say that mostly it's remind me about marriage, because when you're young, you doesn't have so much experience of the relationship. You don't think that he is abuser or he is like bad, or I don't like this. No, you just enjoy your life, you enjoy your partner, and to think about how he is wrong, how it's can be different, how he is worse than your ex-boyfriend. It's like you don't have all this. You just happy to be with your partner, and that's when I think in the best time is like 20 years old, probably the best time when you have to marry. Again, I'm from Ukraine, and to be married at 18 is totally fine in Ukraine, and I think that's like when it's like really good, because when you're 30 you already start to look for his financial condition, for his past, for his psychology condition, and like plenty conditions. But when you're 20 you don't care about all this, like mostly nobody care about this. You just enjoy, and that's it, and that is perfect. It's much easier everything, and you grow with your partner, and you become more patient about some his negative sides of characters, and he patient about your negative sides. I used to think that I wanted to be a singer. I said in a low tone, as so I was in the confessional box, but I didn't think I'd be good enough to make a living, so I just abandoned it altogether as a stupid dream. I mean, that's what happens, isn't it? You grow up and face reality, but what you don't realize is that abandoning your dreams is like abandoning a part of yourself. And for what? Because it won't make you rich? I mean, so what? Maybe it will make you happy, and you can't put a price on that. Another very cool quote. Well, I find actually a lot of quotes of this book, and I agree with Edith because it's she wanted to be singer, but she is dig her dreams very deep, and because she need money for living. But who says that your dreams wouldn't give you the same money? Because she was working as a waiter, but I think if she would be working as a singer in some bars, it would be kind of the same money. But if you are a singer, if you follow the dreams, it's what you love, what you're passionate about, and it has a huge potential that it will grow to something big. For example, she could be in the bar singing, and somebody could see her, and afterwards she would be like famous singer, right? Or like he want to be photographer, and maybe it would be bring first some small coins, but eventually it would be turned to something big. But even if in some time you realize that it was everything not worth it, anyway you would be more calm inside because you tried it. It's better than always think, oh, I wanted to be singer and never to be, right? So I think what I was like a lot also, this quote, it's like what you really need to think if you have dreams. I couldn't help but wonder what it must feel like for Madame Mouret to see her father like that night after night. I couldn't imagine seeing my mother in that way, as an echo of herself. On the one hand, it would be so wonderful to see her again, but to not be able to touch her or speak to her, I realized that it would be a kind of breathtaking torture. That's another what is interesting moment, because Pierre, when he died, he started to show up like a ghost, and you can touch him, you can speak with him. He just do some his routine, what he is doing during his life, and that's it. And is it blessing or is it torture for you? Left your comments, because for me, I think it's more torture, because if some person pass away, you start has memories about him, beautiful about memories, that eventually they became more lighter, and you remember about that person everything good, but kind of with a little dim, right? It's not like so hurting already, but it's nice sometimes to think about this person and how it was beautiful and nice, and your life is continue on that time, and that is amazing. Because if it would be some ghost what is all the time like flying around you and do some stuff, I think it's what is make you stop on that time when this person passed away, because you all the time see him, you can talk, you can touch, you can hug, and it's what is make you more depressed. I think it's make you not recover from his death, but stay with this moment much longer than supposed to be. And I heard that it's with AI make a person that he would be kind of live together, but it would be through the AI. For example, you have some videos and pictures, and it's everything downloaded to some system, some program, and afterwards you can speak with a person who passed away, and he would be answering to you how it's supposed to, that person would be answered to you. And again, if you seen Black Mirror, the TV show, I'm totally agree with that TV show that it's really bad, because that's what is a natural. Person pass away, you step forward and your life is continue. If you would be talk all the time seeing this person, you would be stay on that time, and your life would have less chance to go forward. So good saying about love. I once asked Pierre what I should do with all of this love in my heart for my mom. Love that now had nowhere to go. He told me that the love you have in your heart for someone you cannot be with is never a burden to be carried. It is a gift, he said. A gift you can share in other ways. How? Manu asked, speaking for the first time since we'd sat down to eat. Well, for him it meant he poured all of his love into his recipes and baked them for the people of campaign. He said it was so that everyone may know love. Again, so beautiful what he's saying about love, and I so like how he said that love is never a burden to be carried. It's a gift. It's a gift. And that's amazing, because it's what also I say all the time, that if you feel sad about something, if you are thinking that you can't go forward or something like this, just try to help others, try to share your love, your light, what is inside you with others, and probably it would be take you to some place in your life where you're supposed to be, or give you some new fresh ideas what to do next. And that's amazing what I think, because Pierre, how we know, he's homosexualist and he loved one guy, but they couldn't be together, and he has all this love inside him, and he decided from the bakery to share through the pastries, hot chocolate, to share his love with the others. And that's his way, right, to deal with this situation. I like also how this book shows mistakes, what we are doing, because sometimes we not realize that it can be not mistake, but way to the more options in your life. For example, she wants to live in Paris, right? But it was some misunderstandings, some mistakes, and she have to live in Campaign, and she was very upset about this. She was very disappointed, and it was on the beginning everything seems huge mistake, and probably she was need to return to the Ireland. But I like how it's everything turned off, and what it shows that yes, we're doing huge mistakes, but is it mistake or it's just way to the more options in your life? Like, is it mistake or it's you gain a new skills in your life? Is it mistake or you just has more experience, right? So it could be mistake, but it could be like all other different stuff. It depends how you look to this disappointing situation, what it seems that is mistake, right? I like how it's in the book shows that mistakes, it could be not mistakes, but how I usually say is that we don't see whole picture of your life, whole picture of the situation. We just see some little puzzle. Someday in the future we understood that actually that moment what it was seems very bad, at that time it's turned in the future to something greater, to something what is help you in the future. She reached into her pocket and held in her arthritic hands some dried grains of wheat. I keep this always, she said. After my mother was taken, I did not know how to live. Who was I to become now? Pierre explained to me, holding this grain of wheat between his fingers. Inside, he said, it holds the potential to become any number of things. Like a croissant? I asked in my childish voice. Yes, like a croissant. Or a baguette, or an entire meal if you were a little filled mouse. She smiled. Remember, he told me, you have that same life force inside of you to become anything you and I like it. Well, you understand how I love this book because it's like many quotes what is really cool to think about. And about these grains, now it's grains and they're even similar to each other, but they have such a huge potential to be something else. And it's all of us, we have potential to be whoever we want, right? Even if it seems desperate situation, still your grain, and in the future you can be croissant, you can be bread, you can be meal to some mouths, right? So that's cool to think about this. Who you want to be. Last quote to read that you just feel this atmosphere at the end of the book, and this I think is beautiful. The cobbled streets now whisper with a new story, a romantic story of a young man who found the courage to embrace the life he truly wanted, and a young woman who followed the impulse of her heart and filled the bakery not only with hope but with friendship that blossomed from the seeds she'd sown. And conclusion of this beautiful book. It's totally different what I expected. It's much better, and that's what is cool when you thinking this book would be not so good, and eventually you understood that this kind of diamond of all books what you're reading, and this is really cozy reading for the autumn or just cozy evening, right? And this book is must have to read, I think. Like it's this beautiful story where you can a little bit to cry, dream, laugh, and believe in the life, in the people, in your dreams, everything you can believe because of this book. One more time I say that I like how it's people shows in this book. Had emotional, they are real, they just sometimes doesn't seem clear, do some not good stuff. And it's how it's in the life. Also, I wanted to talk about how it's like homosexualist and gypsy was showed in this book because it's first book where they're just people. You know, they're not funny, they're not sexy, they're not erotic, they're not like somebody else. They're just like regular people how others. And I think like if it would be the more book shows like this, it would be like our life, our thoughts would be like much more better. Because we all people and we all has feelings, emotional, we all need to respect each other, and that's what it shows in this book, and I love how it shows in this book. Also, I noticed in this book that interesting moments that they were lived in the bakery is Madame Muret, Edith and Manu. Manu is grandson of Madame Moret, and they all was lost their mothers, and that's what is another small stuff what is make sentimental more about all this story, right? They all carry this pain of the lost people what they love, and yes, that's just very sentimental and in same time light story with a deep sense. And yes, definitely read it. I enjoy, and I want that you would enjoy too of this book. Thank you that you watched my video. If you want to support my channel, left your comment. What do you think about this book? Do you like it? Do you don't like? Are you agree with me? Are you not agree with me? And subscribe and see you on the next video and next book.